I was doing my usual 3 AM doom scroll, you know, as you do, and these horrific Simpsons, like, creepy shitposts kept coming on my feed.
Mom! Bart's making faces at me!
Hey, there's something you don't see in a toilet every day.
Now, I'm a pretty big fan of whatever these are, and I did think they were quite funny. However, I'm not really into The Simpsons, so I had virtually no idea what these posts were, or if there was any context besides, you know, shitposting. But there's one reoccurring theme in all of them, and that's something called the Dud. He's in every single one of these videos, and he just sort of stares with those small creepy eyes and that bright blue hair. The Dud also seems to be the catalyst for this creepy ass smile that keeps getting posted on these characters. It's like wherever the Dud is, the smile follows close behind. But it's not just The Simpsons the Dud's invaded, people have started adding him onto different shows too. So obviously I was quite intrigued at what the fuck this was, and I did my research. And it brought me to this scene here, which as far as I know is where the Dud was born.
Wait up, Marge.
Okay, Bart, your turn. You got the dud!
This scene is from season 7 episode 25, named Summer of 4'2". So let's just watch this episode and find out who the fuck the Dud is and why he's morphing everyone around him into these smiling freaks. The episode starts in typical Simpsons fashion, blah blah blah, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're a curious fellow, the couch gag for this episode is the family turning into a sheet of printer paper. The show opens in a classroom with Bart and Milhouse talking about how it's the last day of school before summer.
School's out! Up yours, Krabappel!
Well, I'm glad the rest of you remembered that summer vacation starts at the end of the day, not the beginning.
Lisa and these kids are together opening a box full of yearbooks, which Lisa helped write and edit together. And according to this girl, this will make Lisa the most popular girl in school.
To be the most popular girl in school!
The final bell rings and Lisa's handing out yearbooks to her school, and this doesn't go too well as nobody seems to respect Lisa's editorial status, and she wanders around the crowd of kids looking for someone to help sign her yearbook. The kids ignore her, and much to her dismay, she leaves with nothing but empty pages. But in the crowd full of people, she sees a brother who clearly has more social status than her, and has a group of people wanting his signature. Hell, even the principal tries to trick his way into an autograph.
I lied, it's for me.
Lisa remarks on how her academic achievements don't equate to social popularity, and she starts to wonder what all her hard work was really for. We then cut to Homer, who's having a conversation with Ned, and Ned invites Homer to stay at his beach house he rented, but he was unable to go because of jury duty. Homer says no at first, but he agrees after Ned says he'll fix his overflowing septic tank. And I don't really know what Ned was getting at here, it just seems like a lose-lose situation for him. Like, you fix Homer's septic tank and then in return you give him a place to stay. I'm not really seeing the logic. And so the Simpsons start packing for their new trip to the beach house. The show's focus is on Lisa here and how she starts emptying her suitcase to get rid of her old nerdy items. And this is probably an attempt to escape her academic side and hopefully finally get some friends. Milhouse tags along for the journey, and of course he'll come in later in that scene of the Dud. So just keep an eye on him. The family pull away and begin their trip to Ned's beach house, and everyone's waving goodbye at the Simpsons house, and Lisa says goodbye to Lisa Simpson, which is just another example of her saying goodbye to her old self.
Brush. Bye-bye, Lisa Simpson.
Once they arrive at the beach house, you see Ned's covered the place in sticky notes to try and help the family acclimate. But let's be real, these notes are probably just for Homer, so he doesn't like shit in the sink or something. Lisa's picking out clothes for the beach, but doesn't like Marge's suggestions on the swimwear and instead opts for a new style. This is actually kind of a famous scene too, and I've seen a lot of people with this Lisa as their profile pictures. So I guess now you know where this is from.
If it's okay with you, Mom, I'd rather go find some kids.
Lisa has a new look and she's finally ready to start making friends, and she goes down to the library. But she quickly realises that this is where her old nerdy self would have went, and so she doesn't go inside.
Lisa, it's a trick!
However, fortunately for her, she finds a group under the pier and introduces herself with her best cool kid impersonation.
You guys skate?
The kids seem to buy this and they invite her into the group.
Like, whatever.
Alright.
So she takes her new friends down to the library to practice skating and do whatever cool kids do. However, Bart and Milhouse see this because, well, they're hiding in the bushes for some reason. And Bart isn't too fond of his sister taking up the spotlight, and he decides to show the cool kids just how well he can skate.
Okay, Milhouse, you know the drill.
Right. You go over and wow them. I hide in the shrubs.
Which I guess was a flex at the time, they said. I don't know. Maybe skating gets you bitches. Kids call Bart out for trying too hard, and they reject him from the group.
Sure. The whole thing smacks of effort, man.
And ladies with gentle hands, the moment you've all been creaming for. The dud. We cut to Marge, Homer, Milhouse and Bart, who's gathered outside playing a board game. The board game in question is actually based on a real life board game called Mystery Date. I won't bore you with the specifics on how to play, but the main point of it is you go around the board acquiring mystery dates and you try to avoid something called the dud. Just think of it like, I don't know, the snake from Snakes and Ladders.
Ooh, captain of the football team. He's a dream.
After Homer opens his mystery date, it's now Bart's turn. And look away folks if you have a weak stomach, because what happens next is truly horrific. Bart opens his door and he gets the dud. Okay, all jokes aside, the reason why this became as popular as it is probably Homer's reaction to this. He does this slow, terrifying, almost slime-like smile. And this is probably the reason as to why the dud and the smile go hand in hand and are often paired together in these edits.
Hey, he looks just like you, Poindexter.
The dud is obviously characterised after Milhouse here, which is just a reference to the way Milhouse is often thrown around in the show. And much like the dud in the board game, people tend to avoid Milhouse as they don't really want him. There's also a video essay about this specific topic, so go watch it if you're interested. Okay, we got to the dud part of the episode and I know that's what you're really here for, so let's just wrap this episode up. Homer goes to the supermarket to try and buy illegal fireworks for the 4th of July.
Just go in and act casual like you buy them all the time.
And he buys a number of suspicious things to try and look like the average consumer that would buy illegal fireworks.
A couple of those panty shields and some illegal fireworks and one of those disposable enemas. No, make it 2.
The shopkeeper takes Homer to the back of the store where all the fireworks are kept. And I don't know about you, but this is low-key giving off some stereotypical undertones. I'll just leave that at that. Homer purchases his fireworks and he takes it back to the beach house to light it. He asks Bart for a light, but unfortunately Bart says he's out. However, all hope's not lost for Homer as he decides he'll just light it on the stove instead. But he quickly realises he now has a lit explosive in his hands and he searches for a place to put it. And he eventually decides to just throw it in the dishwasher, which you can tell how that goes. Bart looks from a distance, clearly very jealous of his sister and her new friends, and he debates whether or not to join them. His reasoning here is, Lisa only got her friends by copying Bart, and so they should be Bart's friends instead. Marge tells Bart not to go so that Lisa can finally enjoy what it's like to have friends, but Bart being Bart, this obviously doesn't hold him back. And he storms the beach Normandy style, holding up Lisa's yearbook. He tells her friends just how much of a nerd Lisa really is, and shows them proof.
The French table, ooh la la.
And this was actually kind of sad, and I gotta say I feel bad for Lisa here. She's clearly very upset at this too, and she ditches her facade of being a cool kid and she's now sporting her usual orange dress. Bart surprisingly feels terrible too, because well, he's just costed his sister her new friends. And Lisa comes to terms with her new lonely reality and she catches the group sticking seashells onto the Simpsons car.
Okay, you found out I'm an overachieving bookworm. So whatever mean prank you're pulling, just finish it up and send me a Polaroid.
However, plot twist, they were actually being nice to Lisa and choose to accept her for who she really is.
This is the most thoughtful thing anybody ever...
Wait, merciful crap! My car!
However, Homer doesn't see the group's activities as a good thing, and well, this is probably because he now has seashells stuck to his car. Bart tells Lisa about how he showed the yearbook to her friends one last time before they left, and he tells Lisa to open up the book. And we see that the previously empty book has now got signatures from all of Lisa's new friends, and also Milhouse too. Overall, nice story, good message, but I know you selfish pricks are only here for one thing. From what I can tell, this meme, shitpost, whatever you want to call it, has been around for years. The earliest one I could find is a post from YouTube from 7 years ago, and this seems to be the catalyst to all this madness. The video follows the same format we see today, where it's just the dud and Homer's smile on different Simpsons scenes. And YouTube is filled with these dud videos which all do pretty well themselves. There's also a song about it too. And this type of shitposting, well, it's not really new to The Simpsons, or the internet at all as a matter of fact. There's more examples of this too, like the lemon face, liver and onions, and probably a lot more I can't really be bothered to dive into. However, they all seem to have one thing in common, and that's weird faces. Like, it seems whenever a character does anything sort of weird, people run with it and just post it on everything they can. Like some fucked up Banksy. Okay, I hope this gives some sort of context on this. And I had to re-record this video like 5 different times because my audio kept fucking up. So I hope it was worth it. Okay, bye.